What's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because this is by far my most favoriteest ever story time I've ever told on my channel ever. I cannot emphasize ever. Y'all are literally gonna need some steaming, piping fresh tea. I'll give you a second. I'll wait. So for today's story time, we have another clubbing in Korea sort of doozy, except it has that The Boy Is Mine Mekhi Phifer twist treatment at the end. This story time was an absolute pleasure to read because I love when women team up together for a common cause. It's refreshing to see the joint united front instead of blaming each other and attacking each other and trying to compete with each other. Like, we just need way more of this. Before we get into the video, as always, please watch until the end of this video. I promise you, oh my god, it's so good. Drive up the engagement, leave a like, leave a comment for the algo, for the watch, for the engagement, for the tea in today's case. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please binge my videos. They're put together conveniently in playlists. There's a ton of story times on this channel, vlogs in Korea that I've done personally, rants, all that good stuff. And as always, thank you to my channel members. If you guys want to become a channel member, there's a link in the description, or you can click the join button right next to the subscribe button. And if you have a story you'd like to share, you can email me at cclesson3@yahoo.com. Sorry, these glasses are causing a glare. So today's star asked to be called Kim from Kim Possible because she says she was on a mission to expose this cheating Korean asshole.
Expose him! Expose him!
Kim is a young uni student in Incheon. This is another Incheon story for the week. Being a young, stressed out adult, naturally you tend to escape via the nightlife and alcohol and drinking and partying and dancing. Kim says she is no different. She heard all the stories, as we all have, and she says she just had to experience it and see it for herself firsthand. She's new to Korea, so she spends all her free time with her roommate. So they went out to this club in this particular night as a pair, just them two, and they spot a cutie. She said he was giving chaebol vibes and all that energy because he was really confident, he was really good looking, he was well dressed, and he kind of just looked like he came from money. And she said for this story, she wants to call him Bin. She asked that we call him Bin because it's kind of a play on words like the rubbish bin, a garbage bin, saying that he's trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But it's also a part of Korean names like Subin, Jaebin, so she felt it was kind of necessary. Anywho, Kim saw that a lot of girls were looking at Ben and kind of just throwing themselves at him, so this kind of made her less interested. She was just kind of like, ooh, yeah, no thanks, he's probably a player.
Bitch, you guessed it. You was right.
So she looked the other way. She goes to the bar with her roommate and they get ready to order some drinks. But like, we always want what we can't have, right? So Ben's got all these girls throwing themselves at him and looking at him, and these two girls not looking at him for some reason. We can't have that. He can't not have the attention of every girl in his club. So he makes his way to the bar and offers to order them some shots so they could all take a shot together. Of course, Kim and her roommate said yes because it's free alcohol. Like, come on. So the three of them had their shots. They thanked him, and then Kim's roommate dragged her to the dance floor and they just left. Like, can you imagine? Thanks, bye. So Ben's like, what the fuck? And he follows them to the dance floor. He went straight to Kim and asked her what her name was. She said, hi, I'm Kim. And then he jumped straight to, you're just my style. You're my type. And she's like, oh, how's that? Like, why is that? He said, you're pretty, you dance well, I like your smile, and you're smart. She said, bro, you said like 2 words to me. You don't know that I'm smart. And he said, oh, because you came to Korea, that makes you smart. Then she said, are you even single? Like, you don't look like you'd be single. He said, of course I'm single. In Korea, if you have a girlfriend, you can't go to the club. What mythical BS is she trying to propagate? We all know, men, regardless, women too, wherever you are, whatever country, whatever nationality, you go to the club and people cheat. I'm not saying people go to the club to cheat, but you don't go to the club, like, it's not like it's just for single people, let's be real. It's like when black dudes say black men don't cheat. Yes, everyone does. Like, what are you talking about? Anywho, she said she was a little buzzed, so she decided to play along with this, you know, do it for the plot energy. We love that. That's like my new favorite thing of this year. So they exchanged cacaos and agreed to be in touch. And she said she didn't think much of it because at this point, she said she probably had like 10 to 12 dudes saved on her phone who she never ever heard from again, even though they asked and initiated, like, oh, let me get your contact information. Never heard from them again. So she didn't expect this to be any different. She was wrong. So about a week goes by and she gets a text. This is all it says. Hey, want to join me in the club this Thursday? That's all it says. Not, hey, how's your day? Hey, how you been? Hey, remember me? Hey, it's Ben. Just straight up, hey, come meet me in the club on Thursday. So she said, I'm sorry, who's this? He's like, oh, it's Ben. Remember we met at insert club name here? So she's like, oh, okay, hey, hello to you too. But she declined because Thursday is a school night and she also had zero interest in meeting up just in clubs. So she said, no, have fun, but no thanks. So Ben apologized and said, okay, you're right. I'm sorry. How about we do dinner instead? And to that, she agreed. There was a ton of restaurants she wanted to check out. There's some she saw on TikTok that she wanted to go to. So she suggested where they could go. And instead of meeting on Thursday, they decided to meet Saturday evening for dinner. So they picked the station, they picked the time, they knew exactly where and when they were gonna meet. One funny thing that happened before the Saturday evening they were meant to meet up, on the Thursday, the same day where he invited her to go clubbing with him, she got what she assumes to be a drunk text because it was so random. All it said was, hey gorgeous, don't wait to see.
What do you mean by that?
That was it. That was the whole message. So she showed her roommate, they had a good laugh about it, and she's like, he's really cute, have fun, let me know if you're gonna need the SOS call, update me, enjoy yourself, I'm living through you. So fast forward to Saturday evening, and unfortunately Kim was running a little bit late because she got lost. So she told Ben, I'm so sorry, I'm not really sure where I'm at or how to get to where you are, but I'm a little bit lost. So then he said, oh, just drop me a pin and I'll come to you. Which, that was a tiny little thing, but it's also a very sweet thing to do. So conversation at dinner is great. He's making good eye contact. He's making her laugh. He's being very attentive. He seems to be listening. And I say seems because do they ever actually listen?
No!
One thing that kind of was, annoying her, and it stood out to her a bit, was his phone kept going off. So she was like, why don't you either silence it or pick up because it could be an emergency? So then he hits this, this little play line like, oh no, nothing's more important than me getting to know you right now.
Cute.
So at the restaurant, it lived up to everything she hoped it would be. The scenicness of it, scenic. Visually, it was very pretty, just like it was on the video she saw on TikTok. She was very happy with her food. She took all the pictures and everything. She's taken a lot, get ready to post it for the gram, her adventures in Korea. And then Ben suggests they take a picture together. Now, normally, when a guy or a girl has a main that they don't want finding out about this cheating, they're like, oh, no social media, no. But the fact that he insisted and was like, oh, let's take a picture together, kind of made her feel a little bit warmer. Like, okay, maybe he is being honest about being single. He's not single, but sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So with that, they met up a few more times. She didn't say how many, but she said a few. So I'm assuming, a casual dinner or lunch or walk or drinks or something here and there. And they were hitting it off. She enjoyed spending time with him. So much so, in fact, that she said, I want to fuck him. So she explained to Ben that her and her roommate were going to Seoul and they were going to get a hotel because they didn't really get the chance or free time to spend a whole lot of time in Seoul. They were only in their little Incheon bubble. So she said, yeah, me and my roommate, we're going to get a hotel in Seoul and you're invited. I'm not sure what the plan was with the roommate, but I'm assuming she agreed to make herself scarce for a few hours so they could smash. And of course Ben was down for that. He's like, oh yeah, I can meet you there. Yeah, that sounds like fun. So he took her to this really nice bar in Seoul, and after the bar they went back to her hotel room and they did grown people stuff. They did what adults do who love each other. Psych, love. So once they finished, he said, oh, I need a shower. So he went to shower. She said, I'm gonna probably go back to sleep and take a little bit of a nap. And she did plan to take that nap, but his phone kept going off in his pocket and she just kept hearing it. So she's like, I'm nosy. So while he's in the shower, she gets up, goes in his pocket, holds up his phone. Now, I don't know if it was like his screensaver or the picture that came up when this person called, but she described it as Ben holding up a beautiful Korean woman. They're smiling at each other, making eye contact. So I'm imagining like he's holding her like this, right? Like Lion King. And she's looking down at him and like they're happy. And she sees a ring on the girl's finger.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
You don't gotta be smart to connect the dots of what the implications here are. So Kim's sitting there like, wow, he played me, I fell for it. Like, oh my god. So she was upset. But she also said she felt more sad for this girl because clearly there's history there. If she's the wife or fiance or something, like that's a whole thing. I just met this dude a few weeks ago. It's not a big deal. Now, apparently, when you answer the phone, you don't have to unlock it first. You can just swipe to answer. So she knew she didn't have his password or PIN or fingerprint or face recognition or anything. So she answered the phone and then hung up. So she had access to his phone. It was open. It was unlocked at that point.
Oh my God! Wow!
So with this newfound freedom into his phone, she goes through his pictures, sees that same woman a few more times. They're clearly happy and spending a lot of time together. And then she goes to the number that called and writes it down so she has this girl's number. She had every intention of contacting her later when she's away from Ben. But while he's in the shower, she's like, okay, I'm gonna take a picture of his phone. I'm gonna take a picture of his clothes, maybe get a video of his silhouette in the shower. I got the picture of us together at dinner. I have evidence in case she don't believe me. I know this is hard to hear. I mean, you gotta have the receipts ready. So as the shower ends, she puts his phone back in his pocket. She crawls back into bed and pretends like she's sleeping. And when he gets out of the shower, he cuddles up behind her, kisses her on her head, and just cuddles her. And she's laying there like this. Clownish motherfucker. She decides to stir a little bit like, oh yeah, how long was I out? So then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I actually have to head back out. I gotta get ready for work. There's a work meeting, a work function. And this suited her just fine because she was disgusted with him. And at the same time, she's like, yeah, my roommate's probably gonna come back soon anyway, so you should go. She wanted to alert this woman. By the way, we'll call her Ane. That's Korean for wife. We'll call her the beautiful Korean woman on the phone. We'll call her Ane. The first thing Kim does is tell her roommate everything that happened. Like, she comes in the door, she's like, bitch, you won't believe. So after filling her in, catching the roommate up to speed, they devised a plan. And the plan was, this was Saturday. They said, you know what, Monday when Ben is most likely at work, this will be a good time for us to confront the wife and let her know what her man has been up to behind her back. Kim has all these pictures and videos to prove that she just fucked her man. She had every intention, every belief that he was single. But she said, look, if he did this with me so casually like this, there's no way I'm the first and there's no way I'll be the last. But at the same time, she wanted to contact this girl to confirm because this could have been a big ass misunderstanding. Maybe she was the ex and she wanted to get back with him and that's why he was ignoring the phone calls. Who knows? Like, there's a lot. Find out for sure. Context is everything. So now it's Monday, y'all. Get your tea ready. Now, luckily, Kim is great at Korean. She said before she went to uni there, she wanted to be able to blend in with the locals. She wanted to be on their level, surprise them, impress them. She took her Korean studies very seriously. She's shy about using it. That's why she never really spoke it with Ben. But in this case, where it seemed absolutely mandatory, she's like, I can be brave. I can speak Korean.
I'm totally not nervous.
So she calls this woman and the woman says, hello, hi, like, who's this? And she sounds so friendly and Kim is just like, oh God, this is gonna suck. And she said, I know this is gonna sound really strange, but I was with a guy on Saturday night and this number kept calling him. We were in a hotel when you called on Saturday evening. She gave the timestamp and everything just to add more credibility to her side of the story. She said, we met at a club a few weeks ago. I was under the impression that he was single, but when you called, I started to question that because you seem like his partner. Ane did confirm that she is indeed Ben's fiancé.
Trash.
What's up, guys? It's Isis editing from the future. After getting to this part in the editing process, I just have to ponder. I mean, 9 times out of 10, when a couple decides to get married or engaged, it's a man who initiates it. It's a man who proposes. So why then do they cheat? Why then do they say, I want you to be my wife, if they still want to go around and be with other women? I just don't understand. Like, I would much rather be dumped than cheated on. Both has happened. And let me tell you, I felt much better about being dumped than I felt about being cheated on. Like, just end it. If you don't want to be with me, end it so I can be free too. I don't understand. Like, if you want to be around all these other women and have your fun, then do that. Why lock down one woman or attempt to lock down one woman if you don't want to be with just that one woman? And I'm not saying that women don't cheat too. Women absolutely cheat. But every credible source, every study, Google it, I dare you, shows that men are far more likely to cheat than women are. Don't settle down until you're ready to settle down. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, not to sugarcoat it, she went into detail. Ane asked her, she's like, wait, so when did this happen? Because yeah, she's probably trying to do the math, you know, like, okay, so that was Saturday night, he said he was doing this, but that makes sense because he was also not in the house when this happened. Just comparing, you know what I mean? That's what we do. Girls, we always find out, bruh. So Kim is saying, oh yeah, we went out to dinner this time, we went for a walk on this time, we got drinks this time. I know this is hard to hear, I know this is a lot, but I was completely under the impression that he was single. He told me he was single. He said, in Korea, men can't go to the club if they have a partner. They only go to the club if they're single, which she knew was a lie. She said we went to dinner and drinks. I have pictures of us together. I have a picture of his phone. He was just taking a shower when you called. Like, I have pictures and video if you don't believe me. I know it might be hard to see, but if you don't believe me or you need evidence, it's there. Shockingly, Ane said, no, girl, I believe you. Like, the times matched. Like, how else would you have my number and know that I called him Saturday night unless you were with him? But she did say, I do want you to send me that stuff because when I confront him, like, obviously he's gonna lie. You know, he's like, what are you talking about? I was at work. Kim said it got really difficult because on the phone, she could tell that Ane was like holding back tears and she was trying to like suppress, you know, that knot in your throat. Like, she could tell she was upset. Like, she just heard like deep breaths and trying to stay calm, but very upset. She says she was surprised when Ane next asked her, she said, by the way, don't cut him off, like don't ghost him, keep things up as usual, pretend you're still interested. You don't have to kiss him or fuck him again necessarily, but like if he asks to meet up, if he asks what you're doing, like can you keep it going and maybe send me that information or screenshots? And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever you need, girl. So basically, Ane's plan was for when Kim and Ben met up next, Ane would show up too. Again, I love this story for so many reasons. One, there's a stereotype that Asian people, specifically Asian women, are like soft, submissive, gullible pushovers, but Ane said, no bitch, what you not gonna do is cheat on me. And also, again, like I said earlier, I just love when women team up for a common cause and look out for each other. Not everything needs to be a competition or like I'm better than her, I'm still her man, I'm skinnier than her, I'm prettier than her, you're the reason my boyfriend cheated on me. Like, it don't gotta be that. So seeing two women team up like this just get me all warm and tingly inside. Not fighting over no man.
And you know this, man?
So of course, it didn't take Ben long at all to suggest another hookup. But this time, Kim was like, oh yeah, you know, you can come over to my place. My roommate will be gone, she'll be away. And I was a little confused because when she said college student, I assumed she lived in the dorms. And I think they're pretty strict about having company over and curfews and stuff. So I guess they have like an apartment together, which is even better. That's a lot more freedom. She's getting a real Korean experience. Ben agreed to come over to her place. Kim gives Ane all the details, her address, the time, the date that they're planning to meet up so she can just show up. And Ane thought it was funny because he had already said, oh, I actually have to go away for a work thing and I'll be back the next morning. He already had his alibi, his excuse set up, but it was really just a booty call. It was really just a booty call, booty call. It was really just a booty. By the way, the roommate's not actually away. She said she was waiting at a cafe like across the hall in case shit got real because, you know, when you're confronted about an uncomfortable truth like cheating, you might spaz out and go crazy and get a little dangerous. So she said, I will be across the street at this cafe in case you need reinforcements. Hit me up. So Ben arrives at her place and he's like, hey, gorgeous, I missed you. And she said he went in for a kiss and she just coughed in his face. Like, oh, sorry, I think I'm sick. Can you imagine just So Kim's like, yeah, I figured we could Netflix and chill, watch a movie together, order from Pedal, stay in. He agreed and said, oh, that sounds great. I'm actually starving. So they ordered food. You know, they're chilling on the couch, getting ready to eat. And of course, when the doorbell rings, they assume it's their food, but it's Ane, y'all. Hot. So the funny thing is when Kim went to get the door, she feigned ignorance. She acted like she didn't know who she was. She was like, 누구세요? And then she calls out to Ben. Ane's like, Ben. And then Ben looks at her and he freezes. He's like, he sees the girl he's been hooking up with and his fiance standing next to each other. And he's just like,
Damn!
Now, of course, this is when Ben decides to switch to Korean and he's pleading to Ane like, oh, no, 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 no.
Oh no. No, 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 no.
Like, I know this looks, he's speaking in Korean, all in Korean, but he does not know that Kim can understand. So he's like, oh, Ane, I know this looks really weird, but I'm just helping this girl out. Like, she's just got to Korea. She's desperate to learn Korean. She's sick and she's not feeling well, so she didn't want to go out. So I agreed to come over. We ordered food. We thought that's who you were. Like, nothing bad going on. I'm just tutoring her in Korean.
Why are you acting so nervous? And why are you sweating so much? And why do you look so hungry? And...
No, wait, it's not what you think. This is a big misunderstanding. You've got to believe me. Listen, I am telling you, you better listen to me, SpongeBob.
You like
Foreign ass,
don't you?
Ben. So Kim's still just standing there like, acting like she don't know what's going on. And without saying another word, Ane gets out her phone and she sends Ben all the pictures and videos that Kim has sent her. But she took it a step farther. She actually decided to also send it to his family and her family. So now everybody is aware that Ben is a cheater.
Oh, baby, next time I think before he
with the truth confronting him in the face. He stood his ground. This was a hill he was prepared to die on. He's like, what do you mean? Like, what is this? I don't know what this is. I didn't know she took that. Like, who sent you this? Did you send this to her? So then when Kim started to speak to Ane in Korean, apologizing, that's when I think the gears clicked and he realized the war was over. Like, you're busted. Maybe next time you think before he cheats. But y'all, it somehow gets even better. With all this happening around him, he decided to turn to Kim and blame her for this. He said, why would you ask me to come to your place? Why would you ask me to come over to your apartment if you knew that I had a partner?
Really, nigga?
He needs some milk.
So, you know, all jokes aside, it's funny, like, how this happened, but it's because we're not in it, you know? So Ane was actually hurt, tried to hold back these tears, and when it just became to be too much, she spoke to her in Korean and she said, thank you so much for preventing me from making a big mistake by marrying a cheater. She hugged her and then she left Kim's apartment. She left, like, she ran. And then Ben was hot on her tail, I guess trying to, like, win her back or explain, get his woman, I don't know. But yeah, they both left her apartment, and then she told her roommate she can come over and explain what went down. Now, Kim did say she's not sure what happened to them after, but she does think, she's pretty sure that Ane didn't take him back because on her Kakao, her profile picture is like her with some other dude, and they look like they're in a relationship, so we're hoping that she didn't take him back. As for Ben, he blocked her, but before blocking her, he blamed her for his relationship troubles and said this was your fault, I hate you, yada yada yada, block. Boy oh boy did this story have everything. Kim, girl, thank you so much. Like I said, we need more of that energy of like looking out for each other instead of competing and blaming and trying to outdo. Like, we don't need that. We don't need that. I'm grateful that Ane was understanding and she believed her. She wasn't like, you're this whore and you seduced my man, it's your fault, because that happens all the time, doesn't it? And I'm also grateful that Kim wasn't like, I don't know, in denial about it or like, oh, not my problem, and decided to just be the sneaky link. That's what y'all kids say these days, sneaky link. Please bench my playlist that are about to pop up on the end screen if you want to hear more stories like this. Thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!